focus. Come on, focus. Hey. So a little obligatory playing with the filters. Oh, I like that one. Okay. Oh. So I thought I would just check in real quick, just so everyone knows that I'm still alive, actually, and I'm still here. Um, the last time I posted the video, it was just a college project of me in the nude, looking as if though I'm screaming, which I know confused some people, but it was part of a college project, and um, the only way I could share it was to put it on the YouTube so that I could send it then to my tutor to see, because we were struggling with the Google Classroom that we were using. So apologies for very bizarre nude video that I posted not so long ago, if that confused you in any way. It was a bit creepy, I know, but it was part of the it was supposed to be that way. So apologies. But yeah, just checking in to make sure you all know that I'm still here, I'm still alive. I've been busy with things. Happy New Year! I've been busy with things, so I've not been doing a great deal in the van because one, it's been freezing outside. Two, it's been coronavirus, so you can't actually do anything. Hi, Amanda. um, yeah, so it's not really been the sort of outdoorsy type of time for me at the moment. So I'm actually usually I would record my lives in the van, but it's like -4 outside, so kind of not fun. Even though I do have a diesel heater, but just kind of would be wasting diesel for the sake of wasting diesel. So I'm sat here with a really crude, old school sort of like bed sheet hung up, and my brother really kindly bought me like a social media light. So I've got my phone like stuck up to this like ring of light, which is kind of cool. I love it. It's like one of my favorite Christmas presents. Not that I got many. I'm at that age now where I get candles. I get candles for Christmas, and I'm slowly trying to burn them all down. Someone just wrote to me and asked the thing. Oh, I can't get. How do I get them back up? Oh, there we go. How's the art course going? Yes, the art course is going really well, actually. Just did a Zoom live with the art course. We got given a task yesterday, which was supposed to take us 2 days, but I just did it all yesterday because I don't know, art and things like that. It kind of like rolls off my back like water off a duck's back. It just comes to me, and I enjoy it, and I do it, and we've done it. So I've got loads of time, and so I'm doing a YouTube video now to say hello to you guys and girls, obviously, because I haven't seen you in so long. Yeah, so recently I've been having some sounds going on in my van that have been, whenever I hear sounds in the van or any vehicle that I own, I just sort of like turn the music up a little bit and hope for the best, because I'm like, ugh. When you go a bit like stiff on the inside, you're like, oh my god, sounds okay. Yeah, we just pretend it's not happening and we just turn the music up a little bit. So so I spoke, sorry, so rude. So I spoke to my brother. This bread is so chewy. If you ever get the chance to go to the Polish shop and buy Polish bread, it is the best. Yeah, so I spoke to my brother and I said, oh, Dale, something's going on with the van. And he was like, okay, what is it? He always goes a little bit like rigid inside when I start calling him about my vehicles as well, because he knows he's going to have to fix it. I was like, so first of all, there's like a grinding sound. So especially when I was going around a roundabout, like you turn right round a roundabout, or when you turn on a right corner, it would just go. And I'm like, oh God, what is it? And then I said, second of all, when I'm like on the motorway and I'm going like around 55 miles an hour, everything starts to vibrate a little bit, just a little bit, but just enough to be concerning. And at one point I was driving down the motorway and the van's sort of vibrating, but it's like I'm just ignoring it. I heard like a tink, 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 tink. And when I finally got out of the van, it turns out that the van is rattling just enough to undo the bolts of my roof rack. So the bolts were like falling out of my roof rack as I was driving down the motorway. Not ideal, really, for either my roof rack or people driving behind me. So that was an issue. So over Christmas, I left my van with my brother. He's like, my brother's gold dust. I don't know what I would do without my brother. He is like my mechanical savior. I mean, it was my dad. Like, my dad used to be the mechanical savior for everyone. Like literally everyone would gravitate to my dad when they had problems with their cars and stuff. And luckily, he spent a lot of time outside with my brother, teaching him about. Well, I'll tell you what it was in a second. But yeah, my dad used to spend a lot of time teaching my brother about cars. He'd take him outside and like they built like a buggy together. They built like a beach buggy, with like a 1,000cc engine in out of like a Honda Fireblade motorbike. It went far too fast, but they had fun building it. You could hear that thing like if you could hear that thing like 10 miles away coming. It was so loud. And then obviously my dad, he died. He passed away, and he left all that knowledge with my brother. I mean, in a way, I kind of wish that he took me outside and taught me all that stuff about mechanics. But obviously, he probably thought, oh, she's a girl, she's not interested. So yeah, he taught my brother, and now my brother, like, every time there's a problem with my van, he's like, okay, just bring it over. So I left the van with him, and he said, okay, I'm gonna have a look at it and drive it round the block. He's like, yeah, it is rattling, and it is grinding weirdly as well. So he took the wheel off and he looked at it, and the grinding, first of all, when you take the wheel off near the brake, there's like a little tiny backing plate. It's only little, and somehow that had bent in such a way that I think it was touching the brake disc, and that was grinding. And he said, I don't know how you've managed to bend that or what on, but that's what's making the grinding sound. So that was easy. I was like, oh, thank God. And then it was a drive shaft, he says, that was vibrating. So it's like a little rod that goes between the vehicle and the wheel, and it's got little rubber ends on, and I presume there's like some bearings in there and whatnot. And that wasn't looking great. He said as soon as he undone it all, it kind of just like fell apart in his hands. So he went and got me a new one of those and fitted it. And he's also changed my fuel filter and my oil filter and put new oil in. He said the oil was so black that he could almost tell the future in it. So he's given my van a little service, so that's great. So actually the van is sounding lovely now. She sounds really great and she runs great, and I swear she's a little bit faster. So that's fantastic. So he serviced it and he fixed the drive shaft on it, and I give him £155 to do that. And so that's like a bargain, really. That's like a lifesaver. If I took that to the garage, I mean, just for a full service and a check over, I think they wanted like £200, let alone to fix the rattly, noisy bits. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. Just hoping she holds out. Just hoping she holds out because she's a really, really good little van, little Transit Connect. I was always adamant I wanted a big van, and actually I'm really grateful that I've got a little van, because sometimes when I go and teach yoga, I'll get there early for whatever reason. It's like it takes me an hour to go to where it is I teach yoga, and I'd go in my van and I get there. Sometimes I'm an hour early depending on how the traffic is, and I'll just put my diesel heater on and I'll just sit in the back with the lights on, and I'll just sit on my phone or do whatever in the back of the van, and it's just like having a little bedroom on wheels that's got like sink in and stuff, and the cooker and a heater. Put the music on, put a little bit of incense on, and just wait for the time to go into the gym. Obviously can't be teaching yoga at gyms at the moment because they're all shut, but it's amazing. Like, even if you don't want to live in a van, and even if you don't go camping very often, it's really ideal just to have a little bedroom on wheels, because if you're ever waiting somewhere, it's pretty cool. Or like if you're going on a massive dog walk and you come back after your dog walk and you're like, God, gagging for a cup of tea, hey, you've got a little room on wheels here that you can make yourself a tea in. put your heater on, warm yourself up, and chill out for a bit. It's just ideal. It's just ideal. And I think if it was a big van, my brother was saying to me the other day, he said, imagine if you got one of those Talbot Expresses and you massive cumbersome thing, and you're just driving that round everywhere. How annoying would that be? And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. It was a really good idea to get a small one. So yeah, she's still going. She's still running. She's got a diesel heater in. The other week I put some little sort of privacy curtains in the back. I already put some on the side door, but I went to IKEA and I saw these like £3.50 net, like a net chiffon type curtain, which I've put across now the back doors. So it's like a little bit of privacy, a little bit of coziness in there. And I just can't wait for this lockdown to end. I just can't wait for summer to start coming around because I've got a friend that lives in Wales and she's always like, yeah, let's go on a little adventure. So I am really, really, just give me the adventures, please. I am ready now to go and drive to Scotland. I'm ready now to go and drive to the deepest, darkest depths of Wales. And I'm ready to go down all the way into Cornwall. And shit, man, I love Cornwall. They have like the best junk shops ever. And I love junk. I'm ready to go to Cornwall. I'm ready to swim in the sea. I'm ready if I need to drive to France, if we can do that. If we're going to be allowed to do that, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit more positive about the ban. Just need all these restrictions to go away because I'm not about getting fines. I'm afraid if I go out somewhere camping and I'm going to get a fine, I'm going to be most pissed off because it's just such a waste of money. And I'm also not about fighting with the police either. So, yeah, I just can't wait now. So hopefully you guys are all okay. Hopefully you've had a nice Christmas and a nice New Year. You've made do with what you could. I know it's been a bit of it kind of felt like every day was Sunday over Christmas. Like, when will this Sunday end? Kind of like you like pray for a break, and then when you get a break, you're like, oh, I miss my routine. So hopefully you all made do, and you at least got to see one loved one. But yeah, who else is looking forward to summer? Who else is looking forward to not feeling like you're in prison at home? I certainly am. I mean, I was supposed to go to France this year. This year? No. What year are we in? Last year I was supposed to go to France, and obviously the flights got cancelled, and actually the flight company went bust. So I was meant to go and meet one of my old friends. So when I come back from Portugal that time, and I spent like a month and a half in France, I also met a girl, a very, very lovely French girl who happened to live in the same village as the girl who is my friend that I went to stay with. Okay. So it was really weird, actually. So this girl, I think, had been following me on Instagram for a little while. And then I ended up in a village called Sorel in France, which is where I went to meet up with my friend who lives there to stay with her. And then this French girl who had been following me was like, oh my God, you're in Sorel? And I was like, yeah, I'm staying with a friend for a little while until my brother picks me up. She's like, I live in Sorel and no one ever visits here. So it's kind of weird that you're here. Do you want to meet up for coffee? And I was like, yeah, why not? Go on then. So yeah, I met up with her, and she's just so lovely. She's like the loveliest girl ever. Really quiet, but really homely, and like she's like really witchy in her own little way. She's so lovely. So yeah, I was supposed to go back last year and meet her again, and my friend that I stayed with, but little Rona snuck up on us, and the flight company went bust, and we wasn't allowed to go. So that kind of annoyed me. But I think when I finally go to meet them again, I'm gonna drive because why not? Yeah, that would be great. I'd enjoy that. Happy New Year from Dizzy Tack. Glad to see you doing well. Yeah, well, so just wanted to, overall I wanted to show my face really and let you all know that I'm still alive and I'm still here, and I've still got my van, and I'm still doing van things. I might not be living in my van now. She's a bit small to live in. But she absolutely could live in her if you wanted to. But I'm still here. I'm still doing my van stuff. I might be using my YouTube channel for a few other things over the next over this lockdown period, because obviously, as you know, I do teach yoga, and one of the gyms that I teach at has had to shut. So I said to them I might do some like 30-minute express sweaty, get your sweat on, sweat fest yogas. And not everyone at the gym knows how to use Zoom or has Zoom, or they can't make it at a certain time. So I said, okay, I'll do the Zooms, like do some 30-minute Zoom sessions. And I said, well, I might upload some to my YouTube channel as well, just because then you can access them whenever you want as well. So if any yoga videos pop up and you're kind of like, what is she doing now? You don't have to watch them. You don't have to watch them. Or you can just sort of like watch me jump around in some spandex leggings looking like a crazy lady. Not that I don't already look like a crazy lady. Yeah, so with that said, I am gonna go drink my tea before it gets cold and eat my toast, because I just realised that it's really quite rude to eat toast on camera. But yeah, if you don't catch me live and you watch this a little bit later on, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your Christmas has been. Let me know how your New Year's been. Let me know how your van projects are getting on. And let me know if you want a little... Should I do a little van tour of my van? It would be very little because it is only a little van. But if you want one, let me know and I'll do one. With that said, I will leave you to it. Just a little shorty from me. And I'll see you soon. If you're new, and you're wondering who the hell this crazy chick is, go check out my other videos, I guess. Right, I'm going to see you all later. Happy New Year, everyone.